Hello everyone, this is Stephanie with Stefanies Handcrafted Jewelry. I just wanted to take a moment to say welcome and hello. I have been doing, I've gotten into jewelry about 3-4 years ago, and I worked hard on it for the first 2-3 years, and then this past year I've just kind of went into other crafting. But I want to incorporate my videos and get them back to doing some jewelry. Now, I've never done per se a tutorial on the jewelry, but I thought maybe I would give my hand at it and see how I do. I'm not the best by any means. I'm just here for fun, and if you like what I do, maybe we can move forward in other tutorials as I feel more confident. I will be offering a limited kit at the end of this video, or maybe the end of the pendant video. Today I'm only going to be demonstrating a earring, a wire wrapped earring, and this is it here. So I hope you can get a good view of that. It is a stone. I don't know if it's glass, but it's definitely a beautiful stone, and it's got a basic beginner style wire wrapping on it. And I wanted to show you how simple it is to make this, and maybe you can do it on your own. I will be, like I said, offering a limited kit, probably about 2 to 3, maybe 4 kits for this, so they'll go quick. So get yours when you can. But all we'll be needing is some 22 gauge wire, some 20 gauge wire, and some 24 gauge wire, and then a lever back clasp for your earring, and then Swarovski crystal. This is a 3mm Swarovski crystal, and this is a 2.4mm metal round bead, and some 22 gauge wire for the little dangle here. And this is 24 gauge that's wrapped around the 20 gauge. So just so that you know your wire gauges, if for anyone who doesn't know anything about wire wrapping, the larger the number, the thicker the wire. So being that this is 20 gauge, I'm going to be using artistic wire 20 gauge. It is tarnish resistant silver, but it's permanently colored wire. But it is silver plated. It is not sterling silver, just FYI. But it is a good quality wire for costume jewelry or whatever. But if you like the real stuff, I haven't gotten into the silver yet, but not until I feel confident and not waste any. I'm not going to go to silver until then. But for now, we're going to go with plated wire. So here's a 20 gauge. Here is the 22 gauge. And I'm just about out of this one. But there should be enough to handle what we need. So this is 22 gauge wire. And this is artistic wire as well, silver plated. And this is the 24 gauge. You could use 26 or 28, but I'm going to use 24 on this particular for the wrap on this. So if you want to learn how to do this earring, this is my summer series that I'm going to be working on. And this is the, I call it the summer splash earring. I will be making a pendant to go with it, so I'll be looking for that as well. So anyways, let's get started. Okay, so you're going to need a chain nose, needle nose plier, chain nose plier. This is the round nose plier. This is a wire straightener with the, the silicone coated, nylon coated pliers, another needle nose chain nose plier, and a flush cutter. Mine's been used a bit, but you need the flush cutters as well. So anyways, you'll need those. And then you want to choose your stone. Now you can use any bead or any stone or anything like that with a hole in it, because this particular wire wrap project will be with a stone that has a hole in it. So let me get that in focus. There you go. And you've got to be careful of how the size of your hole, because your wire may not go through it. In this case, my 20 gauge wire will fit perfectly. You could probably, could get, I don't think you could get any bigger than a 20 gauge. I think an 18 gauge would really be pushing it on this particular stone and hole. The first thing you want to do is choose your bead. I'm choosing these faceted or semi-faceted square stone beads, and they look like quartz to me. I don't think they're glass. I'm looking at them, and I don't remember where I got them from. I mean, I don't recall, but I got a few of them, and when I look at it, I see quartz. So I do believe this is a quartz stone, polished stone. I was going to say glass, but I can look at this stone and tell that it's got multiple layers in it. So I'm pretty positive this is some sort of an agate or a quartz, maybe a blue jasper or a blue agate. But anyways, choose your stone or your bead. You can do round, you can do any kind of bead, but I'm going to use the stone. And in your kit that I will be offering, you will get 3 stones for an earrings and a pendant. So, you know, these will probably be the earrings, because there's really not very much blue, but this pendant here, or this stone here, has more blue. So I would save that for a pendant. So, and you can see the, I don't know if you can see that. You could almost see the layers of the stone. So they're really beautiful. I just adore these, and they're kind of a blue with gray tones, but they're absolutely gorgeous, and they may be dyed as well, but absolutely beautiful stones. And that's what's going to come in the kit. There will also be, let me just open this box here. This will be what you receive in your kit. You're going to have enough chain to make the pendant, because this is also going to include the pendant. The kit will. So it's like a matinee size chain, which is for it's like 22 to 24 inches is what a matinee chain is. It's got your toggle clasp in it, and then all of the fixings for your earrings and your pendant right here. And then, of course, like I said, the stones, and they vary. I mean, look at these stones. They're quite different. They're the same, but there's definitely more markings here. And then the wire. I raveled these up and gave you plenty of wire for each piece to complete, and probably a bit extra. So, because we really don't need as much as what's in here. So I did give you a fair amount of materials. Now it's up to you to have your tools, and because that's just what you need. But this will be the kit, and I will go through the offer at the end of the video. So hang tight, here we go. Okay, I'm taking a piece of 20 gauge wire. This is roughly about 4 inches. I believe in the kit I gave you 5 inches per unit. So for this one earring, this is one 5-inch piece, so you'll need 2 5-inch pieces. And what I'm doing right here is I'm taking my nylon pliers, and I am giving my wire not only straightening but strength. It's very important to make sure that your wires start out straight. I'm going to take a pair of chain nose pliers. I'm going to hold it here because I've already cut it, and I'm going to straighten it out and make sure that we have a straight wire. And not only that, it gives it strength, and it'll bounce back the more and more you do it. It'll break down the bases of the metal and warm it up, straighten it up, strengthen it up. So it's pretty cool. But that's what you do. You'll need 2 pieces of roughly, I gave you 5 per deal in the kit, but I've only cut 4 inches because I don't think I'll need more than 4. So we're going to go with that for me. I probably even need 3, so even less. But I'm going to cut another one of these. And another good way to straighten your wire is if you're on the spool, just do it on the spool. It's a lot easier actually. And I meant to do that, but I cut it first. So just straighten it up, strengthen it up. It's easier to hold on to the spool and do that. So, and then you can just take your other wire that you already straightened and cut, put it, match up the ends, and then bring it down and then cut. So you keep it exact and try not to waste material. And then you want to use your flush cutter, which there's a flat side and then there's a open V side. And this one is a sharp cut. You want to go with the flat cut. So you're going to butt the flat part up against the wire and cut. So now you have 2 pieces of 20 gauge wire. It's not necessary that you take your 24-inch gauge wire and straighten it because we're going to be wire wrapping. Now, because I like to hold on to the spool just because I don't want to waste, but since I've already done this, I think it was about 19 to 20 inches worth of 24 gauge wire to do the basic wrap on this earring. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the spool just for safekeepings, but actually, I don't think I will. I'm going to measure about 18, I'm going to do about 25 inches, 20 inches. I'm going to do 20 inches. So I've got an 18-inch ruler here. There's 18, and then 2 more inches there. So I think I gave y'all like 41 inches. So I mean, there's plenty of wire there. No, I gave y'all 110 inches in the kit, my bad. So, in total, if I use this 60 inches in total, then, and I cut it the wrong way. I don't know if y'all saw that, but, I think I did, but 110 inches is a lot of wire. So you'll have extra wire, I promise. And then, unless you just mess up and need more and more and more, because, first time is a charm. I mean, it took me a minute to do it, but the first thing you're going to want to do is grab your 28-inch or 20 gauge wire. Take your 24 gauge wire and hold it at the end. Give yourself a little tail, about a 1.5 inch tail, and then wrap that tail around your base wire. 1, 2, 3, and that will give you 3 wraps. And then give it a nice little squeeze. And let me get that focus. And it's going to look like this. And when you do, just give it a squeeze. Just a gentle squeeze. You don't want to mar it up. But anyways, make sure you keep about, I'd say about an inch or so, maybe a little more on the end. So I'm going to do 3 wraps, and let me make sure, because I have my other earring, I want to make sure. When you're counting your wire and units, you want to start with what you started with. And in this case, I started, well, back here. Get that focused. And what I did is, if you'll see it right here, I wrapped it 3 times. And then I wrapped it twice, 3 times twice, 3 times twice. I'll explain what I'm talking about. But these are units, and this is how you count it. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 is 1 unit, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 is 2 units. And basically I ended up with 7 wrapped units. So this would be the first set of units. So this begins our first 3. Then you're going to want to take your other wire and put it right here beside it. You can see that? And then you're going to put them together, just slightly together, like that. And then you're going to wrap it over both of them. This will be the beginning of your first unit. One wrap, bring it back around, 2 wraps. And then take your chain nose pliers and give it all a tight squeeze together. That's your first unit. Okay, now that's your first unit. And just make sure that you keep it tied into it to itself. And keep these even at the ends as well. So that's one unit. Now we're going to start the next wrap, kind of spread them apart just a bit, and then take your 24 gauge and wrap it 1 and go between them. Wrap it around the bottom again, go between them, that's 2. Wrap it around the bottom again, that's number 3. Actually, you want to keep it, my bad, you want to wrap it the third time. The third wrap goes up, so you do 1, 2, and then up. Nope, that's not true. You do want to go between them. Hide. You want a full, complete 3 wraps, like that. See, I'm already trying to tell you wrong. Can you see that? Like that. Okay, then once you do the third one, come back around and wrap it around both of them. You want both of them wrapped right there. You still want to keep them a little distance apart, but the wrap that you want a tight wrap, so it'll be the distance between the two will just be the distance of this wrap, the spacing. So you do that twice around both, just like that. That's 2 completed units, and we're going to do 7. So I'll do it one more time, and then I'll let you do it and catch up on your own. So take it back around the bottom. 1, go between. 2, go between. And 3, go between. And that is 3 more wraps. Give it a tight squeeze, because you want to keep them together. Try not to mar up your metal, and then come back around and do 1, 2. All right, and then just keep them together. You want it to be a tight wrap. There's 1, 2 full wraps, and this will be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, that's 1 wrap, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Well, I need to go ahead and do the 1, 2, 3 to make it a complete unit, because you want to start, you want your unit to end where you began. So we did 3 in the beginning, we want it to be 3 in the end to make a complete unit. And then give it a tight squeeze. Okay, now do 7 of these in total, 7 units, and we'll be back. Okay, I have gotten my 7 units wrapped, and they're right here. As you can see. There you go. There's my 7 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And there you go. That's 7 wrapped units. Okay. So the next step is going to be to separate the 2 just a little bit, make a V, if you will, widen that out, so, and you're going to continue to wrap this bottom one, the one you started with the 3, you're just going to go ahead and continue to wrap. So just coil your wire around coil your 24 gauge around your 20 gauge several times. And I should have counted that. Let's see, we ended with 3. It doesn't matter. Here's what you're going to do. You're just going to coil it. You can count it if you want to. I'm not much of a counter. I just kind of eyeball things. But if you feel better about it, you can count yours. Don't let them get away from you too much like that. Squeeze. Squeeze them taut. Make sure that you keep them in a tight coil. You can take your needle nose and tighten them up together. Just coil it around the 20 gauge. And I find that it works best if you do it like in a motion. You just take your finger, pull it up, pull it over, pull it back, kind of like, I mean, you can do a quick round and round, but I just kind of tend to like bringing it in motions, like an up, a down, kind of a jagged so that it's tight up front. And then all I have to do is do a quick squeeze like that. So we're just going to coil it up, the bottom wire. And we're going to do that for a while. So don't get in a hurry. I tend to get in a hurry sometimes, but don't. I'm going to stop right there just because I don't want to overcoil. And what I'm going to do at this point is choose, now depending on your stone and what it looks like, I kept this one a basic stone. But if you do happen to have one of the stones that has a lot of color, choose which side you want to be the front and what side you want to be the back. I'm going to want this to be the back for this one and that to be the front for that one. But I'm not doing this one because that's going to be for the pendant, or I might just throw it in the kit. So anyways, what I want you to do is choose your side, a front and back, and then you're going to take the uncoiled side, 20 gauge wire, and you're going to pop the bead right on there like that. Just like that. Simple, just pop it on there. Then what you're going to do is make sure that this one is going to come up the back side of your unit. Back side of the bead. See how I've got it even right there? We're going to do some coiling, some more coiling. But for now, we're going to leave that there. You just kind of want to, eyeball to see where you're at. I'm going to go ahead and take this back off. I do need to coil some more because the goal is to coil this all the way around the earring and around the base. You can see that. So go ahead and separate your wires, coil it up some more, and you can do what you want. You don't have to do it this way. This is just the way I did it, and I'm doing it for the tutorial purposes. And I don't really like to wrap like that. That's the lazy wrap, and I don't want to be lazy here, so let me do it the right way. And every so often, just give it a quick squeeze. Be gentle, not to mar it. You don't have to do it hard. There you go. Let's test and see where we're at. Pop your bead on the unit. Roll it up the back side that you want to be the back side. And you can eyeball it and see like that. Just turn it. I did it like a 90-degree backward angle. And then I'm going to do a twist around the front. So pull it up the back. Make sure that the bottom is taut to the last wire wrap here. Pull the coiled wire up the back of the bead. And if you've not coiled it enough, you can start the coil and see where you're at. And in my case, I still need to coil. So I'm going to take this off and coil some more. I don't need too much, but a little. Give it a tight squeeze. There we go. And that ought to do me for now. Let's see. You want to butt your bead up. Bring your coil to the back side of your choice. This is the back. Now see, I chose this side, but that's got some blue in it, but that's got some unique markers. I think the one with the blue is going to be the back. But I'm going to coil it, and then I'm actually going to coil the coil around the base. So I might have actually coiled it too much. Yep, see, I did more than I needed to. But anyways, you can always uncoil that. But that's all you're looking to do. And I want to keep my earrings uniform, so I'm going to chop that down. But if you overcoiled, you can always just make a little design and loop out of that, so you don't, there's not really a mistake here if you don't want it to be. But since I am keeping this one, now once you make one, you want to keep it uniform. And when I went up the back and around the front, it ended right here at the back side. So I did coil it just a hair much. So anyways, now what you're going to do, we're going to leave that for now. And we're going to take this that we began. You've got your one going through the bead, the one going to the back of the bead. And now you're going to have this base come up the front of your bead like that. Okay, that's the front. Now in this case I did a little bend, a little sway and bend. So in this case you can take it and slightly do a sideways bend. Just put your finger here and do a sideways bend, if you will, and then you hold it right here where you bent it and then bend it back. Bend it. Might need to bend it a little bit more. And then bend it back this way. And now you have your little S curve. You see how that works? Just like that. You bend it one way, you hold it, you bend it that way, and then you bend it back on itself, and you get it back to the front, and there you go. Now you've got two little ends here, and we've got this part here. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue this little. This has got 24 gauge on it, so the whatever side you end up with, the 24 gauge should be your bottom. We're going to coil it with the remainder of this 24 gauge wire. Now when you get in tight spaces like this, it's good to get your chain nose or needle nose plier and just use it to your advantage and coil it. It's easier to use the tool. Okay, so anyways, I was saying that you want to use your tool and use it to your advantage, because you can either bend this back out, which is what I'm going to do here, just to make it a little easier. You don't want to bend it too much because you'll weaken the wire, but you just want to use the remainder of your 24 gauge at the one end to finish coiling up that part of the wire. And I'll show you why. You don't have to. I just do because it's cute this way and I like it, and I don't like to waste wire. So if I can get away from it or away with it, I will save my wire and coil it up, use it up, and when it gets to the end like that, then you can nip it, just because it's a pain in the butt. And then just use your fingernails or whatever. And then you want to use your needle nose plier and tuck it. It's very important that you keep your wire taut, but at the end, you don't want anything scratching you. So just make sure you squeeze it in on itself, and you don't have to mar it, but you don't want to feel a jagged edge. So you want to try to tuck it. Let me see if I can get a better focus. You just want to take the end and do like a quick little tuck. And then you don't want to feel any kind of edge. Now, put that back where we had it. And then just use the remainder of this wire to do a little twist of another coil. And we're going to do this one inwards. But you can see there's a lot of wire left here. So we don't want that unless you really want to coil it up and do some crazy little designs, which you can do. But for me, I'm just going to do a basic coil to keep it uniform with this one. And I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to grab the end. I'm going to grab it at the end of it. If you can see that, I'm trying to make sure you get a good view. Grab the tip of it, hold it together, squeeze, and twist it. This will twist your wire into a single coil. Hold that down, and there you go, just like that. So now you have this little coil, and again, you want to pay attention to uniformity, so we'll keep this a little to the side, and we can even trim this up, kind of nip it off. Oops. You don't want it to jump out of your hand like that. Snip it, and then grab the tip and do a tighter coil. Like so. Like that. There we go. Now, we've got this coil with that coil. So, now we're going to take this other end and do the same thing. Now, since we don't have wire to coil, we're just going to nip this off. I always give it about a 1/2 inch. And if I need to cut more, I cut more. But you don't want to cut it too short to begin with. You want to cut it and give yourself room to chop down, because you can't make it grow. But see, like that is going to be too much coil, maybe not. Let's see. No, that's perfect. See, you just don't want to overdo it. You don't want to underdo it. But if you cut too much, then you're really doing a disservice to yourself, because you can't bring it back. And there you go. Uniformity. Just got to tweak it and play with it. But that's what you do. Okay. So there you go. See how much more blue this one is? But I matched the stones to do right by your pendants. So anyways, there you go. Now we're going to finish this off. Now, since we've got this coiled, you know what I should have done, and I made a mistake here. I did make a little bit of a mistake, you guys. What you want to do, and that's my bad, is leave some of that coiled tail to wrap around this, and I didn't do that here. So I'm going to be the devil's advocate right now, and I am going to use this to tie this in, because you want to be able to tie it down. You don't have to tie it down, but I like tacking mine down. So what I'm going to do is use this coil, which I wouldn't normally, but I want to use this coil to tack the other one to itself. And normally I'd chop it off right here at the end and tuck it, but we'll do something fun with it. And this is just, I already have the other earring made anyways to this one. So if you do make a mistake, just keep them uniform on the second one. But anyways, take that remaining coil, and you could have done it on the other one, and just tack it to itself so that it ties into itself. So I pulled it up under here, if you can see that, and I'm going to give it one, and I'm going to weave it in just because I don't want it over the top. I went under it through the little loop. I'm going over the coils, keeping it tight, and then I'm going to go ahead and tuck this under this coil, and I'm going to use my chain nose pliers here to pull that through so that I can pull it taut. And then I'm going to wrap it once around that coil and pull it under. Like that. Now it's hidden and it's tacked. Now I'm going to take this and tighten it around itself. And normally I would cut that off, but because I goofed and didn't use the coil and tack it onto itself there, what I'm going to do for fun is go ahead and make another little coil loop and just put it in front of itself, just because you can. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Look at that. See, I just made a whole nother kind of design. Let me get that focused. So you can do whatever you want. There is no right or wrong. I was just showing you to stay uniform with the second earring, but since I have the consistency on these two, I wanted to show you that you can, if you make a mistake, just do something different, as long as it's a different pair of earrings. You know, or if it's a pendant, you could just turn this one into your pendant and do something like that. So there is no right or wrong. It's still pretty cool, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave that out just in case if when you want it, need it for anything. I like to just tuck it to the side. And see, that was 20 inches of 24 gauge wire. I gave you guys 110 inches in the kit. See, I didn't even use the full 20 inches, but we did measure it, so you saw that. Okay, so this is what's left. If you're doing the pendant, you're just about done, but if you're doing the, and I'll show you the pendant later, I have another video I'm making for the pendant, but since we're doing the earring, what we're going to do is just make a, we're going to make a what you call it, I can't even think. Oh, an eye pin. That's what it's called, an eye pin. So what I did is I took that base, and I did it without talking to you about it. I just put my pliers here like this, and I just did it at a 90-degree angle and bent it at the tip. Just gave it a 90-degree angle like that. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers. I'm going to tuck it under here at the tip, like that, and I'm going to wrap it back around the unit like that, twist, and there you go. That's how you make an eye pin. Now, you can do one or two things at this point. You can either wrap this around and make one or two coils around that, like, you know, or you can just cut it off at the curve, which is what I'm going to do. I usually like to wire wrap, but I'm just going to cut it off at the curve. My flat side of the flush cutters. I'll give it a little nip it, like that. I'm going to use my round nose pliers again. And then I'm going to trim. That. And then I'll come back with my round nose. And there you go. There you have it. So that makes your eye pin for your dangle on your pendant or on your earring. You see that? Oh, the focus. Like that. Okay? That's all you got to do. And then in the kit, I also gave you the components to complete your earring. And I'll show you that real quick as well. And you can always save your little pieces. I save these little pieces and make tiny eye pins for my polymer clay and whatnot. So I don't waste anything if I can help it. I mean, you don't throw anything away. But this is where your 22 gauge wire is going to come in. And I don't remember what I put in the kit, but you don't need a lot. So I'll go back and make sure that you know what you have in the kit. If you buy it, I'll make sure there's a list or something in it. But I'm just going to use roughly about 2 inches of 22 gauge wire. And it's very simple. We're just going to make a dangle. And just like before, we're going to take our chain nose plier. We're going to go down about 3/4 of an inch. Do a bend at a 90-degree angle, like so. You can see that. And then you're going to take your round nose pliers, put it in the end, like that, and roll it back on itself. And do a twist. I don't know if you saw that. Do a twist like this, because you can't go all the way around, and you want to roll it up like that. Now, here I have chosen to do a wire wrap, and the reason is I don't want my earrings falling apart. You could have done a wire wrap on the base too, but I chose not to. But here I'm going to do a wire wrap around the eye pin, because it's just for stability. All you do is take it, wrap it once, turn it around, wrap it back on itself again like that, and do that until you're happy. I'm only going to do 2 wraps, 1, 2, and on itself I'm going to snip it right here and tuck it so that I don't have a sharp edge. Tuck it. Just do it a quick little squeeze and roll it with your finger. Make sure it doesn't scratch you. So the last thing you want is something to scratch your ears or grab your hair or whatever. And there you go, a wire wrapped eye pin. Then you just want to dress it up. And here I used one for a 2.5 millimeter metal bead right here, and one 3 millimeter bicone right there. Let it fall down to the bottom. Grab your needle nose pliers, put it at the end, do a 45-degree bend. Take your round nose pliers, put it at the tip, bend it back on itself like that, around twist your pliers, come back on itself, come back on itself like that, go up just a hair, and there you go. Take your chain nose pliers, hold the hole and use it to your advantage. Take the rest of that tail and flip it, twist it, and wrap it around, 1, 2, just like that. So now you have your component. Now you want your component to be uniform here too. So take your one pair of chain nose pliers and your other pair of chain nose pliers and twist it to where they are flat and flat to each other, like that. Now you have your one dangle unit, connector unit, and then you're going to want to trim it. And tuck it. There you go. Now all you got to do is take your lever back earring, have it set up, take your 2 chain nose pliers, grab you a jump ring. This is a 4mm jump ring. This is a 4mm jump ring. And you're just going to take your 1 chain nose pliers, hold it at one end. Take your other chain nose pliers and you're going to do a twist. And you want to twist them, you don't want to pull them apart, you want to twist them. Because this is what you want. You want it opened up side to side like that. Then you just want to dress it up with a jump ring, put it on your loop right there, and twist it back. And all you want to do is just rock it back and forth till it closes. Just rock it back and forth until it's closed. Like that. Now you're hooked to your earring. Then you want to take, well, see, now I goofed up again. We're going to have to use a jump ring here, even though if you'll notice on this earring, I did not use but one jump ring right here to connect it to your lever back. What I should have done is before closing that off is put the lever back on. But since I didn't, we'll put another jump ring on. And I'll give you some extra jump rings in case you did what I just did. So there we go. Open it up, pop it on your unit like so, and then put your lever back on, close it up, rock it back and forth, until it is shut. Okay, there you go. Your earring is complete. So you can choose to do another little squiggle here, or you could put, if you've got other beads or Swarovskis or whatever, you can add them if you're doing your pendant. There's never any end to what you can do. If I can get one on here, looking for one of them two. You can add things. So that would be really pretty if you're doing your pendant, to maybe add some more jewels or bling. I did not provide that in the kit, but you can definitely do it on your own accord if you want to. But, because I was keeping this a very basic and simple, but you can do something as, you know, beautiful as that, and then go up under it like this. You want to go up under it first and tie it off. You know, so you could do extra things with your wires and just do a quick little wrap like that. Actually, I like that very much. I might include that in the kit. It's just pretty. So my mistake turned into actually a very beautiful pendant. If you wanted to leave that as a pendant, you could just take this clasp off and make that your pendant. I like that. So you basically do the pendant the exact same way. But just so that you know, I did already make the pendant, and it was just the basic wire wrap. But I went straight up the middle instead of doing the little S curves to the side. I went straight up the middle because I was trying to keep this basic. And then your kit will include, you know, the chain and the 3mm Swarovskis. And at the end, a toggle clasp and 4mm Swarovski crystals. There's 2 sets of these Swarovski crystals right here and right here. But, yeah, I'll go ahead and include those in the kit. I wasn't going to, but I will include that in the kit. So, okay. That's a quick decision. I wasn't going to, but I think I'm going to now, just because it's too pretty. And I think I'm going to include some extra beads and Swarovskis just so you can choose to embellish a little extra as well. But I'll keep it at the same price. And just if you're curious, I was keeping these at $25, but I'll keep it at $25 even with the extra crystals. Just because I want to, this is my first kit and I want to keep it simple. And I want you to feel like you got, you know, your bang for your buck. And I hope that, you know, this teaches you something, gets you started in your wire wrapping. I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think you'll love it. So stay tuned for the video on the other pendant. It'll be basically exactly what we just did, except adding the chain. So I might just do, you know, a little clip of the pendant and then add the chain. So there you go. I think it's beautiful. Here's the original. And then here's what I ended up with, you know, my mistake. So a mistake is never a mistake. And then all you got to do is trim that and tuck it. You know, I didn't show you, but just trim that and tuck it. Or, you know what, you could even, you know, just for fun, you could even wrap this back around just because, you know, look at me go. You can wrap that back around because my mind never quits. And then you could do a mirror image right here. 3 more beads. Let's see. Let's just do it. 3 more beads. 2.4mm metal round beads. 3 more. We'll mirror image it. And then a 3mm bicone crystal Swarovski. And we'll put that up there. Look. I mean, you can play and make it however you want to. But I think that's absolutely gorgeous. And I think I'm going to do that. I like that. Do you like that? I love that. I love that so much more, actually. But for people who are simpler, this might work. I was just trying to keep it. But look at that. Is that not beautiful? Oh, okay. See, you never make a mistake. You just create. You create, you create. And always remember to go under your wire to tuck to do your first wrap. I'm going to go behind it. I'm going to go behind it. And I'm going to use my tool. It's easier to use your tool, because it is tight back there, even for the 24 gauge wire. Just push it back there, pull it up, move your beads, keep them where you want them. See, now I've got a bend in that. I don't like that. We got to fix that. There. Keep them taut. Pull it. See, you don't want your beads to move. Hold your beads in place. Pull your wire taut. There. Give it a 1 wrap. I like that. I'm so glad I made this mistake. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Love it. See, there's never any mistakes. Uniformity. Now, had that been my earring, I probably would have just started all over just to have this. You don't want to do that, but, you know, try to keep it uniform when you're doing earrings. But since I'd already made the set, I have to keep it uniform. But since this is a new piece, I'm going to leave that as the pendant. What do y'all think? Do you love it? I just love it. I love it. Okay. Well, I guess I just made the pendant. I guess I just made a pendant because my earrings are already done. But look at that. I love it. You love it? I love it. It was just supposed to be simple. But look at what one little mistake can do to your creativity. See, this was basic and this was a mistake. I like the mistake because there is no mistakes. So, but now I'll probably turn this into a pendant. So I'll take this jump ring off, or this lever back off, and chain this up. I'll probably chain this up. So here's the thing. Since this isn't wire wrapped right here on the unit itself, the base, I can use this like a jump ring, open it up, take the dangle off, add a twisted jump ring in there, and create my necklace chain from the beginning. Bada bing. Beautiful. Okay. Anyways, I'm rambling because I'm excited, and I'm going to go ahead and offer this kit. I wasn't going to until I did the pendant, but now that I've done the pendant, darn, I already have a video in the making too, but I'll go ahead and do that too, and I'll just add this to the video. But the kit, I think I'll include everything that you see right here for a pendant. And I was planning the price just for this. Look, without that, I was planning the price for all 3 pieces. The earrings, the pendant, and the earrings. The Swarovski crystals, the base of this, and then the chain and the crystals for $25, and the toggle. I think now I will probably go ahead and add these components just because it just turned out so beautifully, and I couldn't imagine you not wanting it to. So I'm going to include the additional 6 2.4 millimeter round beads, the additional 2 3 millimeter Swarovski bicone crystals, and all that you need for your chain. I will include everything. I should raise that price, but I'm not going to. We're going to keep it at $25. So I only have enough, unless I sell this one or break mine down, which I don't think I'm going to. Gosh, I think I'm going to have to hold on to that one. I love it. I'm going to leave this at $25 for the kit. So here is the box. I will be probably decorating these boxes because I love to do that. When I do something, I'm probably going to keep these simple, but I do make these into my keepsake boxes. And when you get a gift from me, I make a keepsake box. With $25 as the gift, I'm probably just going to do a basic decorative box. I probably won't do it as a total keepsake box, just because that would cost so much more, and I'm not charging for that. So I wasn't going to charge shipping, but I'm probably going to need to. So I'll get with you on the next video, or when I get into my Etsy shop, we'll go from there, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll just keep the price as is, and you'll get everything in here. You'll get your chain, your toggle, your crystals, and I'll add six more metal beads and 2 more Swarovskis, and all the fixings you need for your chain. All of the wire that you're going to need for all 3. Your 22 gauge, which is here. Your 24 gauge, which is for your wrapping. And your 20 gauge for your units to make the base with your 7 wraps. I think I have 3, maybe 4 of these. Okay. So I haven't posted them in my Etsy, but I will. And unless you comment and tell me hold it, it's probably just going to be in my Etsy, but you can PM me. If I don't get it to my Etsy shop before you get this video, PM me. I'll let you know if there's any left. And the price, I think, will stay $25. I don't know about shipping yet, but I think I will keep it at $25. So this is my first kit. This is my first jewelry tutorial in full, and I hope that you liked it. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you give it a shot. It's a lot of fun, and I don't think you'll regret doing it. They're absolutely beautiful, and the chain will be long enough. I think it's a 28-inch chain in total, and I have it long enough for matinee size, which runs 22 to 28 inches, which runs right down the breast, I believe. But anyways, I will make sure that these kits that I have right now, I have 2 made up, but I'll have to go back and add. But I think I have enough for 4, unless I break this one down. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. God bless. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it wasn't too long-winded. And I'll see you on the next round. Please give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends. I'm just trying to get out there while I can and see what I can do, and hopefully you'll go along with me in my other journeys. This is Stephanie's Handcrafted Jewelry. Right now I'm rolling it on the, filming it on the Rolling Studios until I can get it back on my jewelry channel that I just opened up. But bear with me. I may be doing another jewelry tutorial very soon, but I want to see how this one goes. So anyways, I'm going to shut up. God bless you. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.